So today I'm going to be fixing an A1181 that has no backlight. One disclaimer that I'd like to give: I don't have the nicest tripod, I don't have the nicest camera setup, and I'm not a cameraman. So I don't have a camera that I can just, mount on the ceiling and do 30x zoom to get it down to so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So when I'm doing this work, instead of soldering like I'm used to, I have to do something like this and kind of like try to guess where the fuck I am with my head this far away. So if you're inclined to insult the amount of time it takes for me to solder a very simple wire to a very small resistor, please do go fuck yourself and realize that the reason it's taking me 5 to 10 minutes instead of 10 to 30 seconds is because I'm choosing to record it so that you can actually learn and benefit from it. So if you would like to learn, watch. If you'd like to make fun of the fact that it's going to take me about 5 to 10 minutes to do what should be a 3-second soldering job, again, go fuck yourself. That being said, let's move on to the video. Alright, so here we have an A1181 MacBook with an 820-2496 motherboard, and it has backlight issues. So, new inverter, new screen, new inverter wire, the three pieces that typically go bad. The wire that goes between the motherboard and the inverter, which turns the little DC signal from the motherboard into a larger AC voltage for the screen, and the screen with the screen's backlight. Those are the three things that usually go bad. So we opened this computer to take a look at it, and where there's supposed to be a I'm guessing here, a 0 ohm resistor that goes between the 5-volt power supply of the board and this first pin of the inverter cable, there's a gaping hole. And there's no trace going between here and here anymore. Like, I've already put a 0 ohm resistor there. I know I didn't start the video from the beginning. I actually had a couple of paying customers walk in, so I didn't have the time to put up the camera. But I didn't get that far, so I figured I'd put the camera on. Again, don't complain that this video is not complete. I just don't feel like taking that part off just to have a complete video. With the zero advertising revenue that I asked for from this. So there's only one pad here. That's the pad that goes to the pathway that goes to this first pin. So I've laid a resistor down there. Now, while not hitting the tripod, I'm going to do the best I can to solder around the fucking tripod and get a little bash of solder on the side of that there resistor. Let's use a thinner solder. This is harder to do on camera because I can't put my head directly over it, so I can barely see what the fuck I'm doing. I'm sure it'll turn out just fine. Just fine. I don't actually need to see what I'm doing. And there, I almost flicked it right off the board. Okay, maybe I should see what I'm doing. You don't get to run away yet, little resistor. Oh no. You're not done until I say so. Magnetized tweezers can be the best thing in the world or hell on earth. For me, usually hell on earth. take a little wire. Hit it on both ends. Now this is a 5-volt regulator, I believe. Putting a disgusting blob of solder on there. Shameful blob of solder. Fucking shameful blob of solder. Because this is still in the concept phase. When you're just trying to see if your idea works, going for the perfect solder joint is not, and the perfect everything and the perfect looks, like, it's just not that important, because the time that you waste on that is time you're going to waste from figuring out if your idea works. And when you're doing this kind of stuff, it's really important to keep your patience. So if you have 5 ideas that you want to try, figure out your ideas, each one. Try to bang them out as quickly as possible without being distracted by making it look perfect or having the perfect joints or having the perfect component value. Because anything that's going to make you think or reach for something or try again is just going to get in the way of your patience. And your patience is really important when you're dealing with these type of repairs. Because I'll be honest, the difference between a 0-ohm resistor and a fuse, to me, if I have to get up to get one when I'm still in the testing phase, I don't care. Don't care. Not one bit. The difference between a 24-volt fuse and a 32-volt fuse, all of that, again, for the final finished masterpiece, sure. For the phase of diagnosis and figuring out what it is that's actually wrong, fuck if I care. Because if I focus on all of that, I'm not going to focus on doing my job. I'm just going to lose my mind. I don't want to lose more than I've already lost. Soldering around the tripod really sucks balls, I gotta say. I have to start over. Not edit, actually start over. Imagine that. Also, this would be much easier with smaller wire. I'm using the wire from the inside of an LVDS cable because I ran out of the super thin wire. They have this great wire for jumper ring connections on these motherboards where it's so light that it has no, it doesn't have any like physical resistance. Like if you pull on that wire, it's not going to pull up let's say you have that wire attached to a resistor. The resistor is not going to get ripped off the board. The wire is so light that it's just going to be ripped off of the resistor. not see a motherfucking thing I'm doing. Don't beat the ground. Beat to here. Beat to here. Beat kind of there, but no way. There you go. Okay. Now that the 30-second job is done after 15 minutes, let's see if this actually works. Now you want to be very careful to not actually touch an inverter when you're fucking with something like this, because you could shock yourself halfway to death. Inverters are very dangerous things to actually touch. So, okay, you can't see the camera in the screen from this angle, so we'll change it and victory! That is the old screen that I was chesting with, but it lights up, so we are good. And let's just get a little close-up of the win here. Come on, JVC, zoom. You can do better than that. I'm sure you can do better than that. So I have my little ghetto wire. We shall see if I can ever fix my ghetto tripod. Okay. Seriously, tripod? You think I was holding the camera, but that's actually the tripod. Alright, so we're going from, let's find a non-metallic instrument to do some pointing with. The output of a 5-volt transistor through a little wire to this 0 ohm resistor that I think is 0 ohm or 1 ohm or something like that I just grabbed. That then goes through this little pathway to the first pin of the inverter connector, and now we have voltage. Why did that blow up in the first place? I have no fucking idea. But what I do know is that I now get to collect once I clean this up and, make it not look like shit with a nice wire, about $200. So I'm happy.